Alrighty, so another thing I want to talk to you guys about when it comes to grief recovery that is a very, very important element is this concept of truth. What a crazy concept, right? The idea that truth is really at the core of all of your possible peace and happiness. It is amazing when you get in here. I know I was blown away. I was, in shock at how much I exaggerated, just for fun, right? Just telling stories, or in my own mind, how much I exaggerated situations and it wasn't really what was going on. And the more and more people I work with and talk to, it happens for everybody. Even those conversations you play in your head, you're replaying an old conversation and figuring out what you wish you had said. Why cause yourself that grief over and over for a conversation that doesn't exist anymore? Or maybe you're arguing in your head this conversation you're going to have, and you're like, I would say this, and then he's going to say that, and she's going to do this. It's not even in a conversation that exists. It's not truth. You're putting yourself in a situation that doesn't even have anything to do with anything. It's not possible. It's not happening, and you're causing yourself grief. So we don't want to live in these non-existent, non-truthful worlds. We want to stay in the moment. So important to constantly be in the moment. And with that, to do that, you have to stay in truth. Everything that I'm going to say to people anymore is not going to be exaggerated now. I know that if I say it to you, I can stand behind it 100%. There's freedom in that. I don't ever have to wonder if I said that quite right, or what if I say this, and if she says that, how am I going to handle this, and I just tell you like it is. And I am so relieved to do so. I'm never playing games or trying to figure it out. There's a huge thing with truth. Now, part of truth is taking responsibility, and this is a very, very important element. So if you look at any situation in your life, from the smallest thing to the most traumatic moment you've ever experienced, you always have at least 1% responsibility. Always. And when you start to accept that in your life, it will completely change your life. It's amazing. So every single time something happens, the first thing you need to do is say, what is the truth in this moment? For example, if I'm sitting at a red light, I'm 2 lanes over, and of course there's always that guy over here that needs to get to HEB over there, right? So I'm sitting there ready to go, light's gonna turn green, and as soon as it does, this lovely man decides to cut me off, go across, go into the HEB parking lot and cruise on with his day, and I just had a mini heart attack, right? Because I'm slamming on my brakes, I'm freaking out. What is your problem? I might have a few lovely words to say. And he goes on. I have an option now. Normally, what most people do is they're like, they got stuff to say, and cruise on, and they're just like, and then the phone rings, and they get on it, and they're kind of fussing at that person, and they do whatever, and they keep going, and they go into the store, and the lady's not very nice, and they're snapping at her, and they're doing whatever, and they're like, God, that guy just made me mad. No, he didn't. So here's the deal. No one can make you anything. If you think that guy made you mad, it's going to stay with you. You just put all the control in his hands. He made you mad, as if he has any control over your emotions. He doesn't, right? If you say you made me mad, you made me sad, you made me miss this, you made me upset, you made me cry, you made me not able to have good relationships again, bull, right? No one can make you do anything. Now, just the same, you can't make anybody else. You can't make someone else happy. You can't make someone else sad. You can't make them upset. It's not possible. You don't control their emotions like that. So what's great about this is if I think that way, if I think this guy made me mad, I'm going to go on the rest of my day, 15 minutes or 5 hours, still upset, because there's a part of me subconsciously waiting for him to come back and say sorry and make it right. But the problem is, even if that guy turned around and came back, I might be like, all right, that was pretty nice, he came back. It's not going to erase the grief moment where that energy came up. It's not going to take that away. So it's not going to be enough to fix it, because he can't fix my emotions. He doesn't have that kind of control. So that's just a guide of light. Now put that into, let's say, a divorce. She made me so mad. She made me lose all my money. She made me whatever. You're waiting for that person to come back and fix it, and they never can. Even if somehow they come back and they say, sweetheart, I'm so sorry if I hurt you. I'm sorry if I did this, I did this, I did this. It's good to have that apology from them, but until you recognize that they actually don't have any control over you, you're still going to be in pain. You're still going to be affected by this and not know why. And especially if they don't come back and say sorry, you are definitely carrying that with you. So it is very important to understand no one can make you do anything. Now, the great news with that is that means it's all in your control. So let's go back to the guy at the light. If I'm sitting there and the guy cuts me off at the light and I look at the truth first. And I go, right? And I'm just, but then I look at the truth and I realize, okay, the truth is this guy didn't make me mad. He didn't make me have a wreck, right? But he cut me off. The truth is he cut me off. Okay? The truth is I'm mad. Okay. Now, whose responsibility is it? Well, it's his responsibility for cutting me off, jerk. And it's my responsibility of whether I'm going to stay mad about this. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done being mad, and I drive on. If I need to go further, I can say, hey, dude, I apologize to you for letting this get to me. I probably shouldn't have, and I forgive you for cutting me off, and I drive on. Probably not necessary. Just look at the truth and the responsibility. But you go to the divorce side, and you look at it, and you say, okay, what is the truth? The truth is, I don't know, maybe she emptied your bank account. The truth is, maybe she cheated on you. And the truth is, you're really hurt by that, and you felt really betrayed by both of those actions. The truth is, what you thought was going to happen in the marriage is not what turned out to be. And the truth is, that's really disappointing, and you feel a bit like a failure in that. Okay, now, what's her responsibility? These things that she did. What is your responsibility? Well, maybe you should have cut off that account. Your responsibility, maybe you weren't being there for her emotionally the way you should have been. I don't know, but the point is you have a responsibility in it. Once you recognize that, you breathe a little easier because you're not so busy blaming the other person or waiting for them to come back and fix something they can't. They don't control your emotions. But you're able to go, wow, I can now choose to apologize to you for the things that were my part. And I can choose to forgive you, and I can move on now. So you have to look at the whole complete picture. You have to look at the truth. You have to look at your responsibility. And the whole thing goes hand in hand. So one last example before we go, because I know this is a really long one, but it's very important, is that I was actually driving to a grief recovery class that I was teaching. And I'm cruising down the highway, and I have a text message come in, which of course I don't touch the phone because I live in Austin. You're not allowed to touch the phone. But I see it come off, and it's a girlfriend of mine. And this is someone who, when I had a little baby, she was there up until then. And as soon as I had him, she didn't come around. And it really hurt my feelings. So for about the umpteenth time, she said she was coming in town. Or I've invited her, and I'm so excited. And I see my phone go off, and I see it's her name, and I can see something to the effect of, oh, I'm so sorry. And I know she's canceled again. And normally, because I do my little grief recovery, I'm like, I can deal with it, it's fine. And for whatever reason, y'all, I just was ticked. And I'm doing that thing I'm not supposed to, where I'm in my head going, oh, wait till I can get somewhere, I'm going to call her, and this is what I'm going to say, and she's going to say that, and then I'm going to say this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm on my way to teach grief recovery. Like, I have to apply this. I can't do this. So I'm like, through gritted teeth, I'm like, all right, what's the truth in this? The truth is, she canceled again, and that really sucks. The truth is, I'm really disappointed. All right? What am I disappointed in? I'm disappointed that my expectations were not met. I expected that by now she would have come to see the baby. Okay, so whose responsibility is that? Crap, that's mine. I had expectations of a person that constantly cancels to show up. That's not very reasonable expectations. My expectations should have been, I'm lucky if she shows up, we'll see. But I put all my hopes and expectations into a person that I've watched repeatedly not show up. So any disappointment that I'm feeling, I brought upon myself. Now, it does still suck that she canceled, and so I do need to forgive her for that, but as you'll see in another video, you always apologize first. So I looked at the truth, I realized whose responsibility was, and then I decided, you know what, quickly, like I apologize to this person in my own head, and I'm saying, I'm sorry, I had an expectation of you that was far too high and just not reasonable based on your past actions. I forgive you because what you did does kind of suck, but it's not the end of the world, and I forgive you for that. And like that, I was over it. Where I wanted to call her and give her a piece of my mind, it probably would have caused a problem with our relationship, or I would have gone on to my class and still be like, right in the middle of my class. I was over it. I was done. That's how fast it works. So, truth. Always, always walk in the truth. Speak the truth. Look at the truth. Dig to the truth. Do not avoid it. Society, your parents, your life has taught you to run from the truth of yourself, whose responsibility it is, and what's really going on here. And that is what is causing all your problems. If you would just start looking at the truth, looking at your own part in it, it'll be a whole new world.